Good morning, students. In the last class, we have seen that the commerce, okay, जो business activity है, it is divided into two part, that is commerce and trade. So in the first class, we have seen what is commerce. Today we are going to see what is trade. Okay, so in this chapter, you all are going to learn what is the introduction and meaning, types of trade, internal trade, that is divided into wholesale trade and retail trade. In retail trade, you all are going to learn what are the types of retail trade. Then you all are going to learn what is international trade. In international trade, you have export trade, meaning and export procedures, import trade, meaning and import procedures, and entry port trade. Okay, and the distinctions between the all, that is export trade, import trade, and entry port trade, wholesale trade and retail trade. So these is the topics you all are going to learn in this section chapter, that is trade. Okay, so before I start, I would like to tell you one example. Okay, how trade takes place and why trade is very important. So there was one small village. Okay, the village was in Ratnagiri district. Okay, and there was one man whose name was Mohan. Okay, he was only growing rice. He had a very big field. Okay, a very big farm was there, and he was only growing some rice, and whatever he used to grow, okay, he used to sell in the local market only. Okay, in his village only, he used to sell at a retail price. Whoever needed used to come to their house and they used to take that rice. So one day he met with his friend. Okay, he met his friend who had come from Pune. Okay, so he just asked him, his name was Rajiv asked Mohan that how is your business going on. So Mohan, what happened, he didn't reply because he was not that much grown up. He did not succeed in his business. So Rajiv, who was in marketing field, had suggested him some idea. He said, why don't you grow some mangoes, nuts, and jackfruit in your field? That is having a great demand. You can develop your business through internal and foreign trade. So Mohan was very surprised. Why don't I start with this business? So Rajiv suggested Mohan that already he had some trees. So why don't you transport this mangoes and jackfruit? Okay, Pune, it is having cities like Pune, Mumbai is having a very good demand, and even this Ratnagiri mangoes which are there, which are growing in your field, are also having a great demand in city areas. So he could not imagine what he had done. He just started imagining, what if I send all these mangoes to the city areas? It will be having a great demand and even I will make good profit. Okay, so what he did, he liked the suggestions given by his friend. So he had taken some ideas, some suggestions from his friend. So here the trade which is there, okay, the whatever he had produced, okay, in his farm can be taken to the city only with the help of trade. So trade is a very important thing for every businessman who is trading in goods. Okay, so here trade plays a very important role in economy of every country. Okay, the overall development of the economy is the outcome of proper functioning of the trade. If trade is not there, we cannot transport goods from one place to another, and if those goods doesn't reach to another place, it won't have any demand. Okay, so if you want your demand for the goods, then there should be a good proper channel to transport the goods. So how you will get that? It is from the trade. So here buying and selling of goods and services for money's worth is a fundamental feature of trade. Okay, and other is transfer of ownership of goods and services from one person to entirely another. Okay, so here trade is like the originally the trade started with the barter exchange system. Okay, here the goods and services were directly exchanged from another goods and services, but after many inventions, many acceptances, the common currency came, that is money. Trade became the important thing for a trade. Okay, so here we'll see what is the meaning of trade. Trade is what? It is a process of exchanging goods and services. Okay, it is basically what? It is buying and selling of goods and services with the object of earning profit. Okay, why trade takes place? It is only for earning profit. Okay, so that's why it is known as economic activity, and economic activity, it comes under the business activity. So here trade is a great link between the producers and consumers, and it is carried out by the buyers and sellers. Okay, so this trade is divided into many categories. So let's see which is the category for the trade. Now this trade is classified into internal trade and external trade. Internal trade is divided into wholesale trade and retail trade. Retail trade is divided into itinerant retailer and fixed shop retailers. Okay, now itinerant retailers are who doesn't have any fixed area for selling. Okay, you will find them every day changing their places. Okay, they are hawkers, peddlers, street traders, cheap jacks and market traders. Okay, they don't have any one fixed location. Okay, one day you will see in one corner, next day you will see to another corner, so they doesn't have their fixed shop. Okay, next one is fixed shop retailers. Now these fixed shop retailers are divided into two, that is small scale retailers and large scale retailers. Now small scale retailers are who is having a very small fixed shop for their good buying and selling process. Okay, those were general store, second hand good shop, authorized dealers and specialty shop. Okay, and here large scale retailers, you have departmental stores, supermarket stores, chain stores, one price shops and malls. Okay, external trade, we have import, export and entry port. Okay, internal trade. Okay, we'll see first the first classification, that is internal trade. Now internal trade is a trade where goods and services are purchased and sold within the country. Okay, suppose if you take India, then whatever goods and services that are whatever we purchase, whatever we sell, okay, that is inside our country is known as internal trade. Okay, so here suppose if we purchase goods from door salesmen or from local shop, exhibitions, regional market, departmental stores, okay, और malls, यहाँ से मतलब हमारे कंट्री के अंदर से अगर हम लोग कुछ भी खरीदी करते हैं या सेल करते हैं, that is known as internal trade. Okay, now here another meaning you can is here buyer and seller जो है, they are from only one country. Okay, that's why it is known as internal trade. Okay, so here there is a gap between what? Production and consumptions. Okay, so to distribute this, okay, जो भी मतलब यहाँ पे देखो, suppose मसाले, if you take spices, you will get it in South India. So if that spicy whichever are produced in South India, you have to get it to the North India, then you should have a proper channel. Okay, so your channel of distribution is how, see here, producers and manufacturers, okay, they will send it to the wholesaler. होलसेलर क्या करेंगे, उसको लार्ज क्वांटिटीज़ में परचेज करेंगे, रिटेलर्स को सेल करेंगे, रिटेलर्स क्या करेंगे, कंज्यूमर्स को सेल करेंगे. सो दिस इज़ द डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन चैनल. ओके, सो ये डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन चैनल को शॉर्ट करने के लिए, मतलब वो जो गैप है उसको छोटा करने के लिए, वी रिक्वायर अ प्रॉपर चैनल ऑफ डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन, एंड दैट वी कैन अचीव ओनली व्हेन वी हैव अ गुड ट्रेड सिस्टम विद अस. ओके, so first is in internal trade we have wholesale trade. Okay, wholesale trade में क्या होता है, here whatever goods are purchased, okay, it will be in large quantities from the manufacturer or producer. Okay, आप wholesaler के पास जाओगे, then that wholesaler will tell you you have to buy at least 1 kilo, you have to buy at least 100 units. So he will not sell it in a small quantity, he will sell it in a large quantity. Only if you want to have a good price, then you have to go to the wholesaler to buy a large quantities. Okay, so what he does, he will directly buy it from the purchaser or the manufacturer. Okay, for what? For the resale to the retailer. So it is known as wholesale trade. Now this person who is engaged in wholesale trade is known as a wholesaler. Okay, now wholesaler, what he does, he buys goods and service goods whatever produced by the manufacturer, and he sell it to the retailer. Okay, so here wholesaler is a buyer as well as seller. Matlab he will buy it from the manufacturer or producer, and he will sell also, so he will do both the job, that is buying and selling. Okay, so here wholesaler is a very important person because he is the first in the process of distribution of goods and services. Okay, so this enables the producers to reach it to the customer. Now we'll see the definition according to Phillips. Okay, Philip Kotler, he says wholesaling includes all activities involved in selling of goods and services to those who buy for resale or for business use. Okay, according to Thomas, here a true wholesaler is himself neither a manufacturer nor a retailer but acts as a link between the two. Okay, so let's see the features of wholesaler. Now what this wholesaler does, a wholesaler purchases goods from the producer in large quantity. Okay, what he will do, suppose जो wholesaler है वो suppose mangoes जो manufacture करते हैं या produce करते हैं, suppose it is in Ratnagiri, he will buy it in a large quantity. Okay, so ये large quantity में buy करेगा, he will not buy it in a small quantity. So here जब कोई manufacturer हो producer हो उनसे large quantity में buy करते हैं, then it becomes very easy for the manufacturer also to sell the goods, and even it will help to reach to the customers. Okay, second is wholesaler has to take the risk in the process of distribution, because distribution कहाँ से start होगा, only when the wholesaler buy it in a large quantity. Okay, so he will take the risk in the process of distribution because he will buy it in a large quantity. If something goes wrong, then he has to bear the loss. Okay, because he will bear the loss in a huge amount because he will buy it in a large quantity. Then a wholesaler deals with only one or few types of goods. Okay, he will not have many types of goods. Suppose he is buying plastic from the manufacturer, he will have only plastic items. Okay, if he is buying any grains, then he will have only grains. ऐसा नहीं कि उसके पास बहुत सारी चीज़ें होंगे. Wholesaler मतलब he will deal in one or two quantity types of goods. Okay, then wholesaler, when he is doing business, he require a large amount of capital in requirement of his business. Okay, because he buys it in a large quantity. Even when he buys in a large quantity, he has to set up one go down. Okay, ऐसा नहीं कि छोटे छोटे, वो बहुत बड़े बड़े. So they require huge capital for their business. Then next, a wholesaler maintains price stability by balancing supply and demand factors. Okay, he will balance it by what? By doing demand and supply factors. He will balance the price stability of the product. Then the manufacturer can direct information about the market through wholesaler. Suppose wholesaler बहुत quantity में buy करता है, then manufacturer can think that there is a great demand for the product. Okay, so this market information they can get from the wholesaler. Then the wholesaler sells the goods to the retailer as per their requirement. Okay, जो retailers जब चाहे they can buy the goods from the wholesaler. So according to the requirement, wholesaler will sell the goods to the retailer. Then wholesaler performs the marketing functions such as assembling, warehousing, transporting, grading, packing, advertising and financing. Wholesaler क्या करेगा? He will buy it in a huge quantity. Suppose he buys mangoes from Ratnagiri from the manufacturer in huge quantity. Then what he will do? He will pack it in a box. He will do the assembling, जो मतलब the hay husk वगैरह डाल के he will do it a good packing so that it they remain for a longer period of time. Okay, they will pick up good mangoes and they will pack it. Okay, उसके बाद they will box में pack करेंगे वो लोग. They will transport it to the retailer warehouse. They will store it. So all these functions are done by the wholesalers. Okay, Next we will see services of wholesaler. Now this wholesaler provides valuable services to the manufacturer as well as retailer. So what are those services? Large purchase. Okay, retailer जो है he cannot purchase in large quantities. Okay, so wholesaler does that work. Wholesaler what he will do? He will purchase in a large quantities of goods from the manufacturer and sell the retailer by collecting orders from the retailer. Okay, according to the orders given by the retailer, he will sell the goods. Storage. Okay, even wholesaler has his own storage facility which he uses for fill the time gap between production and consumption of goods. He has his whole depot, he has it go down. Okay, wholesaler has this storage facility with him. Next is transportation. Okay, a wholesaler uses his own transportation to deliver goods of from the place of production to the place of consumption. Okay, so transportation facility is also given. Then next is financial assistance. Now होलसेलर क्या करता है? ही द मैन्युफैक्चरर को पहले से ही कैन गिव द एडवांस टू द मैन्युफैक्चरर. ओके, ही इज होलसेलर इज रेडी टू पे द अमाउंट इन एडवांस टू द मैन्युफैक्चरर विच कैन हेल्प द मैन्युफैक्चरर टू प्रोड्यूस द गुड्स विद इन अ शॉर्टर पीरियड ऑफ टाइम. Next is provide market information. So manufacturer what he will do, he can get the updated information from the wholesalers like market conditions, demand, taste, etc. Next is risk bearing. The wholesaler takes the risk in his business by financing and storing large quantity goods. Sometimes he may bear the loss also. Okay, so because he buys it in a large quantity, if there is no demand, then he has to bear the loss. Next is marketing function. Okay, now the marketing functions are what? Wholesaler what he does, he carries various marketing functions like for example warehousing, advertising, sales, promotion on behalf of the manufacturer, because manufacturer is only concentrating on manufacturing goods. So wholesaler अगर उसके जो product buy किए, okay, for if that product want to have a demand, then they have to advertise, they have to promote. So all this will be done by the wholesaler. नेक्स्ट इज सर्विसेज टू द रिटेलर. ओके, ये होगा मैन्युफैक्चरर को जो सर्विस देना. नेक्स्ट इज रिटेलर को वो क्या क्या सर्विस देता है? स्टॉक ऑफ गुड्स. सो इफ रिटेलर गोज टू द होलसेलर, ही विल ऑलवेज हैव द स्टॉक ऑफ गुड्स. सो होलसेलर कीप्स लार्ज स्टॉक ऑफ गुड्स, देयरफॉर रिटेलर कैन गुड्स इजीली व्हेन द कंज्यूमर आस्क फॉर द गुड्स. ओके, नेक्स्ट इज रेगुलर सप्लाई. होलसेलर क्या करता है? ही विल बाय इट इन अ लार्ज क्वांटिटी एंड ही विल make sure that the goods are regularly supplied to the retailers. Okay, so retailers क्या होता है? He is free from storing the goods. Okay, ऐसे रहता है कि they are free, कि उसको पता है कि I will get the goods whenever I require. Okay, next risk bearing functions. Okay, so wholesaler what he does, he bears the risk of price and market fluctuation because he will buy it in a large quantity of goods. Therefore retailers are free from this risk. If the price goes down, retailer won't go. If the price is high, then he will demand for the goods. Next is financial support. So here wholesaler provides financial support by way of credit facility, discount such as increase in the effect of the working capital of the retailer. Okay, so he will give the discounts and all to the retailer so that there is a good working condition and he also gets motivated to buy the goods. Next is market information. Wholesaler provides variety informations to the retailer. Okay, that is what is the market condition of the different product, the information regarding new product, variants of the product, new scheme on existing product. Sometimes the wholesaler gives guides the retailer about when to buy, how to buy, etc. Okay, next is sales promotion. Wholesaler क्या करता है? He also advertises and also promotes the goods which can help the retailer to increase the sale. So ये हो गया wholesale trade के बारे में. So wholesale is nothing but buying the large quantity directly from the manufacturer and selling in small quantities to the retailer. Okay, that is the important thing of the wholesaler. Next we will see retailer. Now retailer we are very familiar with because we buy goods from the retailers. Okay, so because we require in a small quantity and that is done, we can get small quantity from the retailer only. So when goods are sold relatively in small quantities to the ultimate consumers by the wholesaler or distributor or the dealer is known as a retail trade. Okay, the person who engage in retail trade is known as a retailer. Okay, in market there is an existence of some sellers who are doing the business at a local level within a limited area. Okay, they will do it in a limited area only. So according to Oxford Dictionary, retail is a sale of goods to the public in relatively small quantities for use or consumption rather than resale. Okay, यहाँ पे resale नहीं होता because selling process ends only by the retail trade. Okay, retail trade होने के बाद it is the last ultimate is consumer. Okay, he will consume the goods. According to William Stanston, retail trade includes all activities which directly relate to the resale of goods and services, relate to the sale of goods and services to ultimate consumer for personal or non-business use. Okay, so features of retailer. A retailer is who, it is a link between the wholesaler and the consumer. Okay, wholesaler और consumer के बीच जो आता है that is the retailer. Okay, who operates at a local market. Okay, what whoever हम लोग जो buy करते हैं small shop से, those are all retailers. Okay, he will deal in wide variety of goods. Okay, यहाँ पे इसके पास बहुत सारे, suppose stationery shop हो, general store हो, grocery store हो, they will have all kind of goods. But wholesaler के पास कितने होंगे? 2-3 ही item रहेंगे. But retailer will have n varieties of goods. Okay, so here he establishes goods relationship between the consumer. Okay, he undertakes less risk rather than wholesaler. He tries to satisfy demand of different consumers but does not hold large quantity of goods at a time. Okay, so whenever consumer requires, what they will do, they will buy it from the wholesaler. So let's see what are the features of retailer. Retailer is a link between wholesaler and consumer. Okay, he operates in local market. Retailer deals in wide variety of goods in small quantities. Investment requirement is limited over here. Less risk and low amount of profit as compared to wholesalers. Okay, तो these are the features of retailer. Okay, so यहाँ पे अगर wholesaler को compare करें तो retailer are having a very small risk. Okay, but profit is high as compared to profit is low as compared to wholesaler, because wholesaler get it directly from the manufacturer, so he can make more profit when he is reselling it to the retailer. But retailer will hardly get any profit. He will get at least 10 to 20 rupees, but wholesaler get it at a high discount and can earn high profit because he is buying in a large quantity. So what are the services given by the retailer to the wholesaler? That is, the first is connecting link. So retailer is what? It is a connecting link between wholesaler and consumer. Retailer will help to distribute the goods. So retailer will help in quickly distributing goods. It becomes very important in case of perishable goods, for example dairy products, fruits, vegetable, pulses. Okay, they will get out very easily. So for such, retailers are very important because they will sell it in a small quantity. People will buy it, milk and all. Okay, next is marketing. Now if marketing function जो है, if wholesaler is not able to perform, then retailer will conduct them. Okay, sometimes he handles transportation on his own, sometimes he tries to solve shortage problems or advertise it for better sale. Okay, retailer will do advertisement also for the sale of the product. Next is provide information. So retailer is in direct contact with the consumer, वो consumer से directly related है, so he has a better idea about the market. So this information which is provided by the retailer, for example changing demands, preferences, likes, dislikes of the consumer to the wholesaler, this information will be provided to the wholesaler. So wholesaler can take a decision whether to buy the goods or not to buy the goods. Okay, next is provides attracts consumers. Okay, retailer, what he will do, he will attract consumers by advertising the product. This activity will directly help the wholesaler to sell the product. Next is create demand. So this retailer, he has a direct contact with the salesmanship. Okay, so this will attract the attractions towards new goods arrival in the market. To create demand on new goods, the retailer puts new goods on the window display. Okay, जब window display पे डालते हैं तो हम लोग we consumer gets an idea that this product is available over here. Next is services to the consumer. What services are provided by the retailer to the consumers? Okay, so here there is a regular supply of goods. Okay, so here retailer क्या करता है, he will store sufficient amount of goods and quantities as per the requirement of the consumer. Okay, goods are available to the consumer as and when they are needed. Local convenience. Okay, so here retailers are normally they offer what local convenience to the consumer as and they purchase goods as per their convenience and timing. Home delivery. So many times what happens, retailers provide home delivery of goods to the customers at a nominal cost or free of cost. This will improve the relationship between consumers and the retailers. Next is variety of goods. Many retailers, what they do, they keep the goods of different varieties. Okay, this offers the consumer for proper selection and required commodity of their choice. Next is credit facility. Now retailer also gives credit facility, that is udari. Okay, so here retailer gives credit facility to the regular consumers, which will help the consumer to purchase goods as and when they need. Okay, this will help the consumers who are in short of money. Okay, so credit facility is only given by the retailers. This creates the large consumer base for the business. After sales service, even retailer gives after sales services to their consumers. Okay, for example, durable products such as laptops, mobiles, TV, electronic items. Okay, तो उसके ऊपर वो लोग आफ्टर सेल सर्विस भी देंगे. Okay, such service create confidence in the mind of the consumers for further purchase. Next is information. Okay, now whatever information, for example valuable goods के बारे में, quantity कितना है, okay, new arrival, market, okay, better product कौन सा है, distinction, comparison, which will help in quick buying the product. Okay, this all information will be provided by the retailer to the consumer. Okay, so these are the services which are given by the consumer retailer to the consumers. So let's revise what we have done in today's class. We have seen what is trade. Okay, trade के बारे में देखा, because trade is a channel where buying and selling will take place, and it will also take the transportation of goods from one place to another. So types of trade, there are two types of trade: internal trade and external trade. So internal trade is what? It is within the boundaries of the country. Okay, now there is a channel of distribution, that is producer, manufacturer to the wholesaler, to the retailer, and then to the consumer. Okay, so there are types of trade: wholesale trade and retail trade. So wholesale trade is what? It is the goods or services, whatever are there, they are purchased in the large quantity to the producer, and they are resold. Okay, next is features we have seen. Then what are the services given by the wholesaler to the manufacturer? That is, he will buy it in a large quantity. Storage, it will help in storage of goods. Transportation में help करेगा. He will give financial assistance. Okay, he will give it advance to the manufacturer. They will provide market information. Risk bearing is also done by the wholesaler. Marketing functions such as advertisement, warehousing will be done by the manufacturer, wholesaler, on behalf of the manufacturer. Next is services to the retailer, that is stock of goods, regular supply, risk bearing, financial support, market information, and sales promotion. Next we have seen what is retail trade. Okay, retail trade is what? It is buying small quantities from the wholesalers. Okay, features of retailer, that is services to the wholesaler. he is a connecting link between wholesaler and the consumer. He will help to distribute, he will help in marketing, he will provide information, he will attract consumers, he will create demand. Services to the consumers: regular supply of goods, local convenience, home delivery, variety of goods, credit facility, आफ्टर सेल सर्विस एंड इंफॉर्मेशन. ओके, इतने सारे फीचर्स है. ओके ना, सॉरी, सर्विसेज. सो इफ द क्वेश्चन कम्स, इट विल बी एक्सप्लेन व्हाट इज रिटेल ट्रेड एंड व्हाट आर द सर्विसेज प्रोवाइडेड टू द होलसेलर एंड द कंज्यूमर. और what do you mean by wholesale trade? What are the it is if the question comes on wholesale trade, then they will ask you what do you mean by wholesale trade and what are the services given to the manufacturer and the retailer. Okay, so these are the services. In the next class we will see types of retailers. कौन से है वो देखेंगे.